Hello and welcome back to Retirement Clarity Radio. My name is Scott Newhouse. I am your host. I'm also a certified financial planner. And what we are going to talk about today is 3 common Social Security mistakes that you want to avoid. Now, as you know, Social Security is a really big decision and it's going to affect you for the rest of your life. But like all government programs, it is complex. It's easy to make mistakes, especially when, maybe you haven't been taught all the rules and all the complexities, and if you don't have any help guiding you, it can be a program that's prone to making mistakes. So we want to avoid those. We want to make sure that you're maximizing your Social Security benefits. You've worked decades to get these benefits. We just want to make sure you get what you deserve. You get everything that you're entitled to. So if you're thinking about retirement, if you're a few years away from Social Security, that's actually perfect. We're going to talk about 3 things that you want to avoid. Now, before we get into the episode, I want to give you a link, which is freeretirementbooks.com. And when you go to freeretirementbooks.com, you're actually going to be able to get free access to all 3 of the books that I've written on retirement planning issues. And probably the one most pertinent to today's episode is 10 Steps to Getting What You Deserve, a guide to your Social Security and Medicare decisions. So you can download that today. Once you fill in your contact information, I'll send you a free PDF copy of the book. Again, just go to freeretirementbooks.com. Okay, let's get into today's episode. Mistake number 1 that you want to avoid, and that is filing for benefits too early. Now, most people the most common age that people collect Social Security is at age 62. That is as early as most people are allowed to take their Social Security benefits. What people don't realize, though, is that filing for benefits too early is going to permanently reduce your monthly payment. And we've talked about this in a couple previous episodes on Social Security, so if you need a refresher on that, just go to those episodes. Now, Social Security considers that you're going to get 100% of your benefits at something called your full retirement age. But you actually don't need to wait until that full retirement age to get your benefits. Like I just said, you can start taking it at age 62. But if you wait until your full retirement age, you're going to receive 100% of your benefits. Now, your full retirement age depends on when you were born. If you were born before 1950, your full retirement age is 65 years and 6 months. And then if you were born after 1950, your full retirement age is anywhere between 66 and 67 years old. I'm not gonna go through all the nuances there, but it's gonna be in that range, and you can find that pretty easily on the Social Security website. Now, Social Security, if you take it too early, like most people do, the most common age, like I said, is taking it too early at age 62. And if you do that, Social Security has a formula on reducing your benefits permanently. And the more months you take it before your full retirement age, the more reduction you're going to have in your benefits. So that's one really big downside, because that's going to affect you. Maybe you want that and need that money in when you're 62 or 63, but it's going to affect you in your 70s and 80s, and honestly, even in your 90s, given the progress that we're having with life expectancy. So that's one thing to really keep in mind. Maybe see if we can delay taking it. Another big downside to taking it early, especially if you're still working, is that it's going to your benefits are going to be reduced if you make too much from other sources of income. So if you make a decent amount of money while you're taking your Social Security benefits, Social Security is actually going to reduce the benefits that they pay out to you in Social Security benefits. Now, once you wait until your full retirement age, that goes away. So that's another big benefit of waiting until your full retirement age. So the 2 main things right there, you're going to have a permanent reduction in your benefits. Second main thing is that Social Security actually reduces your benefits if you earn too much other sources of income before your full retirement age. So that's mistake number 1. We want to avoid that if we can. The second mistake is actually on the other side, which is waiting to collect spousal benefits. Now, if you've listened to a couple of my previous podcasts, you know I'm a big fan of thinking about waiting to take your Social Security benefits. However, that does not necessarily apply to spousal benefits. So if you are not familiar, spousal benefits entitle a spouse of a worker to receive 50% of their spouse's full retirement age benefit amount. So let's say one spouse, is going to a 9 to 5, making a good income, and then the other spouse, raises the kids, and takes care of everything in the home, but doesn't have any earned income. They're not working outside the home. So that spouse is entitled, the spouse, taking care of the kids is entitled to receive 50% of the working spouse's Social Security benefits at their full retirement age. Now, one thing that's really important about this is that you can take your spousal benefit early. So you can take that all the way as early as 62. And then you can wait until your full retirement age to get 100% of that 50% benefit. However, and this is the mistake people make, spousal benefits don't grow after the spouse's full retirement age. So it doesn't grow all the way up until age 70, like the working spouse's Social Security benefits. That grows from age 62 all the way up to age 70. However, a spousal Social Security benefits only grows from age 62 up to their full retirement age, and it does not grow when you turn 68, 69, or 70. So some people actually make the mistake of waiting to collect their spousal benefits up to age 70, and then they realize that the amount hasn't been growing for a couple years, and they've really just been missing out on those benefits. So you do not need to wait until age 70 to collect spousal benefits. The biggest benefit you're going to get is at the spouse's full retirement age, which is, again, most likely going to be between 66 and 67 years old. And that is pretty much it for that second main point. Don't wait too long to collect spousal benefits. And then the third main mistake that people make is that they don't plan ahead for Social Security benefits. And I said at the beginning of this episode that it's ideal if you haven't collected Social Security yet, because that gives us a couple years to plan ahead. And I mean this with a couple different things. One, it makes sure that we can kind of coordinate your income so that we don't make that mistake of earning too much income and then having a reduced Social Security benefit amount when your income's too high. Another big area that planning ahead helps is in terms of taxes. Now, it's unfortunate, but a lot of people actually think that Social Security is tax-free. You've been paying taxes on this for decades, and then Social Security is going to come back at you and potentially tax you on those benefits, and that's absolutely true. Right now, around 40% of Social Security beneficiaries do have to pay taxes on their benefits. Now, there are some strategies, if you plan ahead, that you could either eliminate those Social Security taxes, or you can at least reduce them. And my next episode is going to actually be on Social Security and taxes. And then the next topic I'm going to talk about on this podcast is taxes, and especially taxes in retirement. So you want to make sure you subscribe and like this podcast so you keep on coming back to it. But one option of reducing the taxes that you owe and just making sure you're planning ahead for Social Security and everything that's going to happen in your 60s when you're transitioning to retirement is something called a Roth conversion. That's essentially, very broadly, it's taking tax-deferred money, traditional IRA, traditional 401k, and then moving that into something called a Roth IRA years before you start collecting your Social Security benefits. And the reason why you would want to do that is because when you take money out of Roth IRA, that is not counted in your taxable income, and then that's not included in the calculation on how much your Social Security benefits are taxed. That might be a little convoluted, but you got to listen to the next episode on Social Security and taxes, and then it'll make a little bit more sense. But my point is, if we've got years before you start taking Social Security, there are strategies to reduce the Social Security benefit taxes that you're going to have to pay. And one of those strategies is a Roth conversion. I'm not recommending it. I just do think it's something you should consider, especially if you want to minimize the taxes you're going to pay on your Social Security benefits. So that's all I've got for today. 3 Social Security mistakes that you want to avoid. You do not want to, if you really need the money, that might be one thing, but you need to know if you take it at age 62, you're going to have a permanent reduced benefit amount. And you also have to remember that if you earn too much, Social Security is going to reduce your benefits again. So filing too early is a big mistake a lot of people make. Waiting to collect spousal benefits until age 70, that's a big mistake. Your benefit's not going to grow, so just take it at the spouse's full retirement age. And then the third one is just not planning ahead, and this is especially important when it comes to taxes, which again, my next episode is going to be on Social Security and taxes. How do you calculate that? How do you make sure that you're paying as little as possible in Social Security and taxes? And then for some people, you actually might not have to pay any Social Security taxes. But we're going to get into that into the next episode. If you want to learn more, make sure to go to that website I said before, freeretirementbooks.com. You can get access to my latest book, 10 Steps to Getting What You Deserve, a guide to your Social Security and Medicare decisions. All right, that's all we've got. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks again for listening. As a reminder, you should consult with a financial advisor familiar with the specific circumstances of your unique financial situation before making any financial decisions. Nothing in this podcast is a solicitation for the sale or purchase of any securities. Any mentions of rate of return are hypothetical in nature and not a guarantee of future returns. Scott Newhouse, CFP, is an investment advisor representative of Forthright Finances, a California and Nevada registered investment advisor.